Hello ladies and gentlemen, this is Derek here with Moy Sauce Productions, and today we are in a
700 feet, turn right, then bear left.
We are in a 2017 BMW 340i, which apparently is the new successor of the 335i. This car has a 3.0 liter twin turbo engine in it, and it puts out 330 horsepower. The steering wheel in this car is pretty nice. This car feels very large for a 3 Series, but the 2 Series seems to be the car that is like the right size for me. We're gonna see how this does. We're gonna be in sport. Speed warning. Sorry. Okay, so this has a chip in it, so it puts a little bit more than the stock amounts, and they said this has a BMW exhaust on it too, an M exhaust. So it does sound really nice. It does pop a little bit. So it shows that you could technically buy one of these cars and just put an M exhaust on it and it'll sound really good. Shifts are really quick and crisp. The interior is pretty decent. It's very similar materials to that the 2 Series. The seats look very, very similar as well. It seems very compliant. And like what I said with this 8-speed auto, it's really nice. You can get comfortable settings and you can get very sporty settings as well. So that's something that I really like. The steering is very, very on point. I think it was probably more on point than the actual, the change in with undulations in the road. I like the steering feel of the 2 Series better, but this is definitely more responsive, I think. And obviously visibility in this car is very good. It's a sedan, so it's very decent. Space in the car is pretty nice. Overall space in the interior is nice. There's a lot of buttons going on, but overall everything's very, everything makes sense. Everything's very, I'm gonna turn off all these because I don't really care about lane keep assist or anything like that. This is the all-wheel drive version. And it's got a heads-up display that keeps telling me there's a speed warning, because it tells me how fast I'm supposed to be going, and it tells me how fast I am going, and that was pretty quick. Alright, let's see how it does in this turn here. Pretty decent. Not much understeer at all. This is the X version, so it does have all-wheel drive. I do like that responsiveness. It shifts down into the gears that you want to be, and there is quite a bit of low-end torque in this car as well. It feels very, very peppy, very nice. I do like the power out of this car. I kind of wish that 2 Series that I drove had this power.
Turn left.
So if this car is making around like 350 horsepower, if it was in that 2 Series, it would definitely feel a lot nicer. I think what I don't like about these cars is that I want them to feel like more of a driver's car, but I understand that these cars are not driver's cars necessarily. They're pretty nice. One thing that I want to say is that this car is definitely a hell of a lot better to drive than that 5 Series. The 3 Series is a lot more nimble, and the 2 Series is even more nimble. I would love to see those weights creep down a little bit, like right around the 3,000 pound weight, curb weights. And yeah, overall this car is definitely really nice. I would definitely recommend this car. The performance out of it with that chip and with that exhaust note, the exhaust note is really good. definitely a screamer. And that engine is, I love the engine note of these BMWs. They're really good. This has the same infotainment system, really the same overall materials and everything. It probably just has more options. And other than that, yeah, it does have that heads-up display, which is nice to have. Yeah, I get it, I'm speeding.
Turn into the 2nd Street on the right.
Little oversteer. It's quite responsive. And that's the other thing. It's nice and peppy without being harsh. And you get that nice refinement out of this 3 Series. Whether, you know, the M Series, you know, the M3s and M4s and whatnot, I think it would probably be a little too harsh, and you probably would never be able to get, you know, sort of a nice driving ride out of that. And that's probably something that, you know, throws this car into the loop when you talk about getting an M car. And it definitely probably gets some better with the price range, because this is definitely, you know, a lot less than those cars are. And if you put an exhaust on there and put a chip on there, you know, it's an extra, what, like $1,500 for that, and no big deal. And you got yourself a pretty freaking fun to drive car. There goes another guy that passed me. Brakes are pretty decent too, not bad. I'm sure they changed the brake pads and the fluid in this just because they'll have a lot of people driving these. Definitely recommend this car over the 5 Series and 2 Series for sure if you don't need the room. It's fairly nimble, but it's a big car, honestly. And if you're looking for a car that's small and easy to maneuver, this is a good maneuverable car, but it is not by any means a small car. Anyways, thank you all for watching. Once again, this is Moy Sauce Productions, and if you are interested in, you know, following me day to day, make sure you check out those social media channels. And if you liked this video, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, feel free to give it a thumbs down. Please subscribe to the channel if you like all the contents. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.